have a legal question, go ahead and get on the line right now. Give us a call, 436-1212. Charlie O'Hara is in our studio this morning to answer those questions. Before we get to those phone calls, there is some change potentially coming in terms of how we select judges.
Well, actually, the legislature now, I think, or at least the governor, wants to change how we select the Supreme Court justices. Okay. And the Supreme Court justices right now, they have 3 names that are submitted to the governor. Right. And then the governor decides which one of those 3 to put on the Supreme Court. And I think they want to change it to do like they do in the federal system, where the governor appoints someone, but then the person has to be approved by the legislature, which would be a big change. You
know, somebody that deals with judges on a daily basis, on the district level, it's done by voting, although a lot of...
Well, not everywhere.
Not everywhere.
Actually, it depends on which district or county you're in.
Of course.
For instance, in Wichita, if you're an attorney for 5 years, then you're able to run for judge. If you've been out and have a license, you can run for judge after 5 years. It's a political process, Republican, right, Democrat, or whatever other party you want to be. In some counties and some districts here, they're appointed by the judge just like the Supreme Court, and they don't run for re-election. Now, they run for retention, where you have to have a majority say you ought to stay as a judge, but no one runs against you, so it's not nearly as contentious political process.
Well, let's talk about the Supreme Court justices and the impact that a change would make. I mean, what would be the benefit of keeping it as it is, or benefit to changing it?
Well, I think the theory is the less political it is, however it's less political, I mean, everything's somewhat political, the less political it is, the more likely we are to have people that are just doing what the law requires them to do.
I know I've spoken to judges in the past who say that, you know, when they run for either retention or re-election, they have to throw on their political hat, and then when they are done, they have to take off that hat and be blind, impartial.
Well, I think the retention is much less political. When you run for re-election, right, a Democrat or a Republican against each other, and there's ads going on, and you're having to go out and talk to people, then it does become very political.
All right, well, thank you for that insight. All right, let's go ahead and let's get to a caller on the line right now. Go ahead, you're live with Charlie. Go ahead, do you have a question for Charlie?
Yes. Yes. What is it, whenever someone has furniture from a rental company and they come to take their furniture back, if they have paperwork saying that they're allowed to have immediate entry into the home, doesn't that mean that if someone opens the door, they can come in and get the furniture? But
well, obviously a contract controls the situation. People aren't supposed to be coming in your house without your permission. Even if you sign a contract, they're not supposed to just walk in. They should be knocking on the door and be reasonable about how they come in.
All right, thanks so much. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.